Dear Ukrainians, work is currently underway in Kharkiv at the site of the Russian strike on a residential building. It was an ordinary apartment building. As of now, it is known that 10 people were killed. Among the dead were children, a girl, she was 13 years old, and a boy, he was 9. My condolences to their families and loved ones. Additional specialists from Poltava and Sumy regions have been brought in to help clear the rubble. They are searching for the bodies of people trapped beneath the debris. This is a horrific strike. 16 people were also injured. Everyone is receiving the necessary assistance. There was also a massive strike against civilians in Kyiv and in other regions, including against energy infrastructure. Today I spoke with President Macron about this strike, about our need for air defense missiles, about the fact that Ukraine must defend itself every day against Russian strikes, every night against Shahd drones and missiles. This requires resilience, support, and the fulfillment of all the agreements that were reached, many of which, unfortunately, remain stalled. I thank Emmanuel and I thank the other leaders who understand the full scale of the dangers and do not play with people's lives. There has still been no progress on the 20th package of European Union sanctions against Russia for this war. There has also been no movement on the €90 billion aid package for Ukraine. Although Europe recognizes that this is vital for us, but the blocking of the package still remains. Emmanuel and I coordinated our positions on this. In the coming days, in fact throughout all of next week, we will devote our work to cooperation with Europeans so that the decisions needed to protect Ukraine finally begin to work in practice. I also thank every leader and all the countries that remember the Pearl program that allows us to purchase American air defense missiles for Patriot systems. We all understand the risks posed by strikes from Iran and the need for air defense missiles in the Middle East as well. It is important that the protection of life is ensured here too, in Ukraine. Especially since we are seeing information about Russian assistance to the Iranian regime. There are reports that the Russians are providing intelligence to the regime in Iran in order to help direct strikes against Americans. There is also evidence of Russian components in Shaheds being used in the Middle East. And this is directed both against Arab countries and against Americans in the region. Every such fact shows that we are dealing with regimes that are not merely connected to one another, but that exist thanks to one another. The Russian and Iranian regimes are killing in a coordinated way both here in Europe and there in the Middle East. That is exactly why the defense must also be coordinated. Life in Europe and life in the Middle East deserve equally effective protection. For our part, we are working to help strengthen defense against Shaheds. And we quite rightly expect that our own defense will also receive the necessary support. And that Russia will feel the consequences not only for prolonging this war against us, but also for trying to escalate that war as well. Life needs protection through joint, strong, coordinated action. One more thing, today I want to recognize our Ukrainian Paralympians. It is the first day of competition and Ukraine already has 6 medals. 3 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze. It is important that the Ukrainian flag and the Ukrainian anthem are now being heard in Italy with pride and visibility. Visible, in particular, to those immoral sports officials who allowed Russians to compete during a war of aggression and permitted them to carry their flag, a flag of war. Life must be protected and war must be brought to an end. I thank everyone who is helping Ukraine in exactly this way, who is caring for life and for people. Glory to Ukraine.